Thank you very much, Mr. George, for being with us today. So, what are you up to in the lockdown?
During lockdown, I'm keeping myself fit, but I'm lucky that Trivandrum is not such a what do you call in a, like high security lockdown, so I could go to a ground once in a while. I do my running,
Okay.
keep myself fit, and we have a lot of webinars on like Zoom and other platforms for the kids I train. And Kerala Cricket also Association also
Okay.
running a webinar for the training of their coaches. So it's been like busy.
All right. So, you're in constant touch with the kids that you train as well. So, that means the mentorship is continuing. There's no
Absolutely,
nice to know
absolutely,
that's a
absolutely.
any new hobby that you picked up?
And not a new hobby as such. I spend more time on fitness and more time on reading. I have an extensive library. I started reading a bit more.
And when did it start? The love affair with books.
I've always been a big fan of reading. Like uh, I used to. I'm like well, when reading, the reading is the only hobby which lets you either your choice. Like you can be the hero, you can be the villain, or you can even be the horse in a cowboy story. It's your choice. So reading is much fun.
So, you always carry at least a couple of books when you're on tours.
Not a couple of books. I have like wherever I go, I make sure I find out a lending library. And all the time, if you come into my room, you'll have minimum of 10 books with me, other than my Amazon Kindle.
Now, as a coach at a younger level as well, you'd like to see the players bloom and blossom, isn't it? How's the journey as a coach?
If you talk about my particular journey, I started coaching in 1992 with Sportsoclock of India in Jamnagar, Gujarat. Now I am in Trivandrum. It's like from the western part of India to the southern state of Kerala. Journey has been fun, and like being a coach, the most wonderful thing is like you are mentoring or helping people realize their dreams. That is the most brilliant part of this journey. Your personal whatever you achieve is nothing compared to watching your trainees' dream come true. That's magic.
You've been treated with a lot of magical moments, isn't it? All these while.
Absolutely.
So, cricket coach with the Sports Authority of India.
Yes.
You've been a coach with the Kerala Ranji side as well.
Yes.
India Under 19 Women's,
Yes.
they've seen you as the coach. And of course, for the Asia Cup and World Cup, you were coaching India Under 19.
Yeah.
Now, if you had to pick one team which you said transformed completely when you started to when you probably bid goodbye, which one it would be?
The India women team, as far as fielding is concerned.
Okay.
Before I came in, I don't think they had a full-time fielding coach. And the thing is, they welcome me with both hands. I am lucky that I could work with legends like Mithali Raj, Julan Goswami, Harmanpreet, and they welcome me with both hands. And like initially, like I was the first time I'm working with a women team as such, so I had to tone down. Before I went into women's side, I was working with Calcutta Knight Riders in IPL. From that to women, and I tell you, like working with women is much more rewarding as a coach because they accept you and they're zero egos and they're superstars in their own rights, professional ethics, hardworking, brilliant.
So you mentioned KKR. How was the experience working with someone like Wasim Akram?
Wasim Akram, Jack Ellis, these people are like huge legends, and I was constantly trying to learn from them, to talk to them, and to find out like how they would handle themselves in a particular situation, and like they were brilliant. They would spend time in explaining to me. I not played cricket at that level, so they used to tell me like this is what you do, this is what how you should go about it, and it was like brilliant. And when I wanted to make my CV, two guys who said like came forward and said, take down our address and our phone number as your reference, the Jack Ellis and Simon Gattic. So on my CV, my reference is Jack Ellis and Simon Gattic. How big a honor is that?
Can't get better than that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So the reverse flow of knowledge, when you were a part of the KKR side as well, you must have carried a lot of experience and put that and pumped that into the Indian under 19 team as well. Not any techniques?
See, not the under 19. From the KKR I went to Indian women. Technique wise, I'll tell you, if you look at it from a pure technical point of view, women are equally good technique wise as any man in the world. Look at Mithali Raj. Look at Harmanpreet. They are good in their own way. It is like how the IPL and the IPL has taken off in a big way, and this has helped the Indian men team to have a transformation. Not in the technique or in the technique where they are always good. It's their
Okay.
psyche. They believe and they know they can compete with the best in the world and come out on top. This is what women team were lacking. I wish a women IPL happens and the best in the world comes to India and play. And Indian women play in Wangade, a crowd of 70,000, 80,000 people roaring, and they come out of that and they're going to win every World Cup, every championship around the world.
So the trajectory that women cricket has taken, I don't think that's far away.
It's going to happen today or tomorrow.
So
Yes,
for every
please.
Harmanpreet, Jhulan Goswami, and of course Mithali Raj, you also have to deal with someone like Jemima, who's very eager to learn a lot of things very quickly. And then there's Smriti Mandhana, of course. So how do you deal with players of different age groups?
Like I tell you, like I was lucky because in 2011-12, I was given charge by National Cricket Academy of a under 19 girls side.
Okay.
And the girls side is Smriti Mandhana and the Deepthi Sharma and the Sarika Goli, they were all there. So that was my first camp with the girls. So when I came to know that I was given this chance by BCC to work with the Indian women, the first girl I spoke to was Smriti. I said, Smriti, is it a right choice? She said, please come, it will be wonderful. And I tell you, I met Jamie during an India camp at National Cricket Academy. Jamie is a wonder. She calls me Dada or Daddy.
Okay.
And Jamie and that time Devika, by they both were there. 6 o'clock our session ends, and these two will be like eager and said, let's have half an hour more of fielding. Let's do it.
Okay.
And the senior look at them like this. What? You girls want to go for another hour of fielding? And these are like dynamic. And Jamie is a gem.
So you must remember that catch that Jemmy took against South Africa in the deep. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Michael Cap hit that ball on the line. Brilliant. The technique was brilliant. Her landing was brilliant. Her recovery was brilliant. Everything. That was magic. I still have it on my laptop. Okay.
Okay. So whenever you feel a little down, or otherwise also you said that's one thing that I need to look at.
And more than that, like whenever I want to teach somebody about fielding, when I take classes, I show this video as a prime example of how you catch on the line.
Now, talking about catching on the line, so do you practice? You make the girls practice with another person in the deep, because catching in tandem is something which is very frequent these days.
They do that.
All right.
They do that always. They do.
So it's something which is practiced also, not that it just happens in the moment.
No, it's practice always. It's practice. Even like not just catches, even fielding on the line with double fielding, it's practice. It's a practice skill. It doesn't happen like that.
So when you look at the double fielding, as you call it, two men or women at the boundary rope, trying to stop that boundary, trying to not let the opposition sneak that extra run. Who exactly tells them which end to throw at? Because both of them in this case are looking at the ball.
It depends on yours. I'll tell you, like, it might sound very funny. It's about like you hear if me and you are running in the middle. Okay. If I say no,
Okay.
what does it mean? That if I say no means I am sure where my end. I'm sure, and you're committed to your run and you are at risk.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At the same time, the bowler or the wicket keeper will be shouting at them, listen. It's your sense of hearing and your trust in your teammates which help you decide which end to throw.
Okay.
Fielding, one of the maxim is like, one rule is that always throw to the end opposite the no from the batsman.
Okay. All right. That's something new. I thought you always throw to the end, which is yes, but it's a completely flipped version of what we actually heard.
If I see, you're flipping it from a batsman point of view to a fielder's point of view.
Fielder's point of view. And statistically speaking, has that affected a lot more runouts?
Yeah, absolutely.
So talking of runouts, actually, game that you were part of the World Cup.
2007 July World Cup, we had 4 runouts against England.
Absolutely, sir. And if you see those runouts, it's more than the mix-up. What grabs those eyeballs and what makes us go wow is the fact that you had trained the girls to recognize the opportunity. Then comes the skill in execution. Now, how do you train them to recognize the opportunity?
That see, we have team drills in which there's a competition going on between these girls, and they aiming and throwing at a single stump, something called round the clock. When you place fielders in all those positions which you feel inside, from point, cover to mid off, mid on, mid wicket, and square leg, and ball is hit in the gap, and the girls pick up and throw, and on run, girls keep shuffling all the time. So it owes a lot to the capability of the fielder to read the game, to read the batsman, to be there, and to know yourself and be assured of your capability and capacity to hit the stump.
So how do you build trust between the fielders at slip? It by constant practice is with the spinners, with the fast bowlers, different pace, different type of balls. It's and the girls or teammates, they know if I have a bigger arm spread, if my arm spread is more, the guy next to me moves a little away, they know for sure. All right. So does that change? Do the fielding positions also change depending on the dimensions on the ground?
Not as such. Like in T20 and 50 overs, what happened? The quicker fielders and the better fielders in T20 cricket field outside the circle. A Jemima or a Smriti Mandana will be patrolling the line because they are very quick. They got good throws. A Deepthi Sharma will be outside. In a 50-over match, maybe they'll be inside. Okay. Julan Goswami can be at slip. She's the safest catcher, big arms, big reach, and otherwise she'll be at mid on or mid off.
Nice. Talking of Jemima and Mandana, they love to stay together and then they have a lot of fun. They must have pranked you sometimes.
I'm scared of them really. See, like okay. More than Jemmy, Smithy, I'm scared. Like whatever happens, like if I make fun of her, something bad happens to me. Either I knock my head or I stumble or I fall down and she'll look at me and say, I told you. I said, Baba, tumhara saath pata nahi. Okay. And your bond that you share with Jemmy as well. We saw a little chart paper that she has gifted you, something of that sort, with different moments of your life. That was my last day with the Indian women's side. Okay. Everything was finished. The match was finished. The warm down was over. The team meeting was over. We are all left. We had climbed back to the bus. I normally go early because I have to keep the fielding kit bag inside the bus, which is the heaviest. I was sitting in my seat, and a girl called me and said, "You wandered back in the dressing room." When I went back there, Jemmy came up and presented me with this flash of photos. And on the reverse side, all these girls had penned a personal message to me, which is, I'll show you if I can. Let me see if we can move this laptop a bit.
That will be great.
I'll just show you the messages because it's there. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
This was a message from everybody.
More than the trophies, it's the memories. It's these which matter more to you, isn't it?
It's like let me just sit back. I believe, like, end of the day, it's how you made the other person feel much more than whatever you gain. That doesn't count.
It's very heartwarming to be a coach, and yet at the same time, you got to be a little stern as well. You got to find that balance, because when you're preparing for a big game, to get into that mindset. Talk about that, sir.
No, like professionally, working with a professional team at that level, everybody knows what is expected of them, and they are sure. You don't have to tell them. Talking about warm moments in cricket, like I've been lucky to be a personal coach to a few players whom I have, like. There's a boy called Sanju Samson. He came to me at the age of 11.
Who doesn't know him?
Then one of my moments which I'll never forget is the Asia Cup finals in Dubai against Pakistan.
Okay.
I was sitting a square, like Sreyesh here is not playing. Myself and Sreyesh sitting together and talking. Sanju scores a century with a 6 and lifts his bat and pointed at me. That is one moment I'll never forget in my life. And with the women team, all these experiences, these tours we have won, and the tournaments like World Cups we have lost. The moments in this dressing room, nothing can replace that.
Now, everything is a learning experience, even at your age, your level.
Absolutely, everything. Every day is new. You learn something new. Otherwise, you've gone stale.
Does that what pushes you forward? Every day is new.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every day is new, and every day you get it's a God's gift for you to make someone happy, to be a change in somebody's life.
So we talk about personal coaches these days. Someone like Robin Uthappa, who now plays for Kerala, but he had Praveen Ambracer, and now Sanju Samson had you as a mentor. Does it really help? Do you see that as a trend?
It depends. See, Mr. Rajkumar is a person. He is the coach of Virat Kohli. But do you think Virat Kohli goes back to him and even now to talk on technique? No. See, I believe the duty of a coach to empower your trainee, empower your player that is capable of handling himself. Yes, you are an anchor in their life. They come back to you. You are the referral point. They come back to you when things go wrong. They come and talk to you. It may not be just cricket. It may be their personal life. They come and see you. They know, like the space with you is somewhere where they can be calm. They can be themselves. Not be a big time player or a superstar. Just be the small kid whom I met years back. That's what works with personal.
So for personal coaches, it's important to be a sounding board. That is the psychology part of it, as much as you tell them techniques and everything.
Absolutely, and like the player will grow up and go away. It's like a kite flying away, but still swing which is being held, which is ties them to the ground. Is your relation with your coach or your father or your mentor or your elder brother or your player who is with you as a senior in your team.
It's a brilliant thing to know, actually, that you as a coach see the person behind the player, and then when it comes to game day, you see the player. That's really nice to know, sir. I have a few things lined up for you, and you have to tell me how you feel when we show you these photographs. Are you ready, sir?
Oh, Paji.
Yeah.
Huge one. That was before our South Africa tour.
Okay.
He came and he spoke to the girls on how he used to prepare, and like there were a lot of takeaways from that. How they had Mumbai had a tough Ranji Trophy season, and how they came back and won the next season. How they prepared, how to prepare in tough condition. That was like wisdom, Aristotle speaking.
This is MCA Mumbai. BKC.
No. Yeah, BKC Mumbai. Yes, BKC.
Yeah. We could say with the building behind, isn't it?
Yeah. WV. That was the first tour with Raman sir. It was wonderful. He keeps things very relaxed. He has been there. He's done everything. He's an amazing guy to be with. Amazing, with the huge knowledge, not just cricket. You talk to him about nuclear science, he'll tell you about nuclear science with authenticity. You talk to him about movies, you talk to him about songs, you talk to him about history, you talk to him about anything, and he's well read. In fact, he reads much more books than me and anybody I know, and any book, he is the guy to go to.
So then his book, The Winning Sixer, must be in your reading list.
Absolutely, brilliant book. The way he writes and the way he speaks is amazing.
The next one is this, sir.
That was a traditional welcome which we got when we went to New Zealand. This is a Maori way was what do you call, welcoming you and mingling of your breath with their breath, and it was very moving. They have a song which will say that according in their Maori language, we had a haka welcome, which all day do those things like in the typical before the All Black games, and they say Mongoanegi. I forgot the name. I may be wrong. Okay, they take that mountain as a witness. That is very that mountain is very sacred to them. That mountain, the sea, and the wind, and the earth being witness. You are here. You are our guests. Everything we have is for you, and we'll be protecting you, and all sort of things. Very moving. You start crying even if you don't know the language.
Okay, it's because of the vibe.
It's the way you get to know. You know in your soul that they're telling that you're welcome.
So you're from God's own country, and then it reminds me when you talk about the vibe and it says that it moves you. I can remember the Mandalam. I can remember in Guruvayurappan temple. It's something similar, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like similar. Like Kerala, even in Trivandrum, we have the Pattanam Swami temple, which is supposed to be the richest temple in the world. More than that, if you look at Trivandrum, the center point of Trivandrum is a place called Palayam. The Palayam has one of the biggest Muslim mosque in the city, right? And that compound wall is next to that one Ganapati temple is there, Vigneshwara temple, and that wall is the common wall for a church too. So these three places of worship and religion stay together in a compound.
I think
that is Kerala for me. Like everybody, like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, you're equal.
And that is the way that our country needs to be, sir, isn't it?
In this time, that's the way exactly where the country, how the country to be. I'm lucky to be in Kerala. I always tell guys, like, even if I love a lot of places, I'm lucky to be born and be in Kerala.
So the next one that I have for you is this
one. That's my dog. See, I coached in the medical college ground in Trivandrum, which is opposite the regional cancer center. A lot of stray dogs comes there. One dog decides to, like every year, one dog decides to adopt us. Okay, there were 3 dogs before that. First one was called Chausi, and somebody has taken her and gone away. Second one was Pachu.
What do you mean by taken her and gone away?
They have taken her to the house.
Okay, adopted, right? All right, then.
Adopted in the way. Okay. And second one was called Pachu. He is with another house, and this is the third one. Even though she's a girl, we call her Doger Man. He's very funny. Be there all the time. Be active. Be with the kids. Supervise everything.
So you have a nickname called the Dog Whisperer.
I love wherever I go. Be it I've been in like, where is it? Meghalaya, Shillong, Bangalore, wherever I find dogs getting close to me, and dogs know you.
It's actually, again, it changes my perception when you say the dogs adopt
Absolutely.
us. It's not us adopting.
Because the dogs know whether you're a good person or not.
Nice, sir. Now, this one, the final one.
Yes, please.
What's the story behind this?
Let me see that. This one, that is like Derby ground, no? Is it World Cup photo?
No, sir. Everyone's
Sleeping. Yeah.
As if someone's cast a spell on them.
This is what I did, and there is a bigger story behind this. I'll tell you.
Please.
This was in Joburg Airport.
Okay.
This is the launch room. We traveled from Port Elizabeth, Cape Town. We flew down to Joburg. We reached there early in the morning. We had to check out at 3 o'clock. Then we were traveling in batches. One group left at 11:30, and our flight, myself and 4 girls, Radha Yadav, Nush, and 2 other girls. Our flight was at 4 in the evening. 11 o'clock, these people left. And by mistake, our video analyst took my passport and my ticket with him and left. And I was sleeping. Somehow, I'm not joking, somebody walked me up, tapped me on the shoulder and checked your passport and ticket. I looked, my passport and ticket are not there. And my mobile had enough currency in it to make just one call. And the voice in me spoke to me and said, call Tripti madam, her phone is on. Hers was the only phone on. And I took the ma'am, my passport and ticket is not there. And a second, without knowing, from my mouth, he said, is with Mr. Dandige, you ask him. Ma'am asked Dandige, they're closing the gate, they were boarded. Dandige said, it's not with him. Ma'am said, please look, and it was in his bag. Somehow they gave it to air hostess, who gave it to the guy at the security gate. Otherwise, I would have been stuck in South Africa.
So, what a finish to the game, and then after that, what a finish to the tour.
Yeah, absolutely. It was brilliant. But I was like, cool, I know. Bad things never going to happen to me.
That day, you did not speak anything with Smriti Mandhana. You did not tease her. That's why.
Yeah, I make sure. If I look at her, I said, yes, Baba, koi pata nahi hai.
So, did you learn some Marathi along the way with Smriti?
The only thing I learned is Shangli Mulgi. Shangli Mulgi.
Yeah, that's good.
Good girl, and Sangli Ki Mulgi, Sangli Chi Mulgi, girl from Sangli.
Oh, okay, Sangli. That's okay. And did you teach her some Malayalam? No, you haven't tried?
No.
The standard of cricket is growing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, which aspect of it demands the most attention as a coach right now, with all departments growing at the same pace?
I believe batting, and more than batting, bowling, and fielding is the mental aspect.
Mental aspect of the fielding.
Not just feel. I'm talking about the total game, mental aspect of cricket.
Okay.
To be there, the big players come to play in a big match. It's about not losing the semi-finals, not losing the finals.
So, but there is also a school of thought which says treat every game as the same. Don't let the pressure of that being a final get to you.
It's see, nowadays with the social media and the exposure to so many things, even if you say it's a different, it's another game. You open your mobile and you say India playing Australia in a final, pressure game, 80,000 spectators watching. England playing West Indies, it's the final. Who is going to win? So you are bound to have pressure.
So you try and shield the girls and shield any team members that you're playing with away from these things, the distractions.
You can't, absolutely, because see, it's more than it's guys who call up and say all the best. I know you're going to do well. It's from the bottom of their heart they want the best, but it's putting pressure on the girls. It's something they should know how to handle and to come out of that.
All right. So one player that has learned things very quickly to form that bubble around them and hence embrace big games as well.
Shefali Verma. And like Mithali Raj is a legend. I'm talking about new players. Look at Mithali. Big game, small game, every game she's the same. Legend.
Big game, small game, you'll also find her in the dugout with a book, isn't it?
Yeah, she is the best. Like world cricket, she's the best. And in Indian cricket, she should be treated on par with Virat Kohli. If you look at her stats, she is like equal or much better than all these people.
So, talk about the journey of Shefali Verma. It inspires you in a way as well as a coach.
If you look at Indian women cricket in general, look at the new genre of players. They're not coming from big cities. Nobody comes like a Jami from Mumbai is fine, but you look at all the others. Where are they from? See, I'll tell you why. Because like if you look at the history of sports in general, if you look at American sports, baseball, rugby, boxing offered a way for the African American to come to front, for a guy from a village or a village back in the foothills of maybe like Tennessee or to come forward and be a big star playing American football. Same way, how you can climb the social hierarchy ladders in India is through cricket. Cricket offers fame, employment, money, riches, glitter, everything. This is one way to make sure that a XYZ from a nowhere village is front page news in all the national dailies.
Do you think IPL gives that too early to a lot of youngsters and hence they can be a little dazzled initially? It's important as a coach to make sure that they concentrate on young cricket thereafter.
It can be, but listen, like me and you, what we learned at the age of 14, the new generation learns at the age of 8. Mentally also they mature very fast. They should be if they should be. See, I believe I know BCCI is doing. They're bringing in mental skills. They're making psychologists interact with them. On call, they got psychologists. But more than that, it's a family and the immediate circle among the friends who tell them that you're not Superman, even though you're a superstar. It's the immediate circle. The friends and the family, you have to keep them rooted.
So you have deployed a lot of new techniques as well. I've never seen anybody use a heavy ball. Now, how does that help?
Heavy ball?
Yes, sir. The green one.
The heavy ball is something like what happened. Heavy ball I can use for batting, bowling, or fielding. In the sense that it trains you functionally. When you do throw with that, it trains you functionally. The same technique, you're using the same muscles which you use for throwing. Batting, it makes sure that the bat stays in the right path, and it's not just heavy; it's very soft. So if you hit it, it is real power to move it. See, if you can move that when you hit the cricket ball, it's really going to fly.
Oh, all right. So you're preparing the batsman for a T20 game?
Anything.
It's becoming more power game.
It's training them functionally. T20, if you look at Test match cricket, nowadays run rate of 4 is par.
So Robin Uthappa practices with it. Sachin Baby
does, Sanju does, everybody. Even the small kids, they take they're different ways. Not just a big green one. They got a small red one. And everybody takes it. And this lockdown, this has proved very useful because however hard you hit it, it's not going to travel more than 5 feet. So you can practice in the apartment with that. It's not going to break anything.
I wish I knew that a little earlier because my mother would be very happy had I used that one instead of the leather ball inside the house. But you see raw talent coming towards you. and it's important that
Yeah.
certain rawness to them always exists even as they go ahead. For example, if a coach would have tried to tinker with the action of Bumrah, probably he would have been less effective. Same is the case with, say, Malinga.
Yeah.
So as a coach, you got to take a call saying, hang on, this action does not seem very repetitive, but I think it can do the trick for me in the long run if I can manage the load of the player. Do you take those decisions?
No, as a coach, you have to take a holistic view of your player. Like, is it going to work short term, long term, and throughout his career? Is it going to be detrimental for his health? Will it cause an injury which will threaten his career and life? And if this comes in, you talk about awkward or unorthodox things, it comes more in bowling, no more than in batting. But nowadays, batsmen with like bat plays like a Steve Smith, everybody survives. But what happened at the point of release as a bowler? Bumrah is perfectly lined up, right?
Yes, at the point of release, yes.
Smith, Steve Smith at the top of his back is bat beautifully unweighed. He's facing the bowler, a Chandra ball. See, everything is like it builds down to being there at the point of delivery. Point of delivery, you're fine.
Now, taking you back to the dugout memories, across different dugouts, you had KKR, you had India under-19, and Ranji Trophy as well. Whom did you find the most superstitious?
There was a boy called Abhishek Hegde.
Okay.
With Kerala, and every day he used to have a new superstition. Like, he will put one leg, right leg in the dressing room first, then jump back, put the left leg back, then turn around, then turn twice and go inside.
In his defense, it's called warm-up.
That was entering the dressing room for the match, from the best to the dressing room.
Okay. Do you remember an instance where you had to scold a youngster?
Scolding in an actual match? No, I remember one instance with Sanju Samson.
Okay.
When he was playing under 14 for Kerala, he had scored a double century, a 180, then a double century, and the next match he scored only 80 or something. So he called up and asked Sanju, what happened? There were no mobile phones, so he called me from my payphone at the end of the line. End of the day, he said, "Sir, thak gaya." I was like, "Kaisa thak gaya tu?" And then I talked to coach. He said he was captain, so he bowled 26 overs.
Okay.
And he took up the coach and started bowling. Then I said, "Baba, no, this is where you have to take it called. You can't do everything." And that isn't even scolding. I don't believe in scolding as such.
So what are the measures? What are the measures that you have put in place for clear communication with the captain of the side? A coach needs to take the captain into confidence and say a few things perhaps which a coach directly cannot say to the players, but through the captain works really well.
Yeah, that was never my purview because I was always a fielding coach with the national sides and everything. It was the head coach who was to take the call on everything.
All right. So as a fielding coach, you worked in close quarters with a strength kind of a coach?
Yeah, we had 3 different coaches during my tenure with the women's side. One was Radha, she was a lady. Radha ma'am was from Chennai. He was very good. Then we had Afzal. Afzal was worked with, he is currently the strength and conditioning coach with Baroda. He was with Mumbai Indians before. And after that, when I left the team, Naresh was there. And how fit you are directly affects your fielding.
What is the roadmap to becoming a coach? If you get a youngster coming in and saying, I want to be a coach, I want to be the person who mentors others.
BCCI is conducting these courses which start from being a level O, then it goes to level O refresher, then level A refresher, then level B refresher, then level C.
Okay.
And you go into specialization. That's how the roadmap is.
And these are examinations?
No, these are like actually seminars or like short duration classes, like 7, 14, 18 days. When you go back and you have your projects to do and you bring them up, then you get your certification done.
Okay, these are project based.
It's a course like maybe like 7 days, 8 days, but you have to work for the next 6 months to clear that. Other than that, Sportzoclock of India is running a course through the National Institute of Sports, which is a 1-year diploma course. These are the courses available to be a coach.
So what would be your what would you want to tell a youngster who comes up to you and says, I want to be a coach? What would be the one reason that you would want him to be a coach?
I'll tell him it's extremely rewarding, and you are in a noble profession, but expect nothing out of that, because gratitude is never there in the business. But the joy and the sheer satisfaction you get out of seeing somebody achieve their dream, nothing can hold a candle to that.
Lovely to know that, sir. Now with this, we reach the final segment of the interview. It's called the rapid fire. And you've got to be as quick as answering the questions as you were trying to board that plane from Joburg. Okay?
Yes, go.
Now, one person that you would want to spend the lockdown with?
Jemima. Full of fun and she keeps you like happy all the time. Waka, I call her Waka.
A person that you wouldn't want to spend the lockdown with?
Mike Tyson. Okay. He's trying to make a comeback.
Okay. Now, an author that you would want to bring back to life?
Author, a lot of authors. Maybe I would like to bring Rumi back to life.
Okay. Now, favorite KKR moment?
KKR moment was a match which was brought down, it shortened, and we won against RCB in Bangalore.
Your thoughts on Dinesh Karthik?
Brilliant guy, absolutely. He can change a match, batting, keeping, captaincy. He can change a game by himself.
As a coach, how would you react when somebody says, that player was sledging me, it was her fault or his fault?
Why were you listening to him?
Okay. Most superstitious in the KKR dugout?
I never noticed anybody being that superstitious.
What about India women?
India women also hardly anybody. Our manager, ma'am, ma'am, was very superstitious.
What did he do? Or what did she do?
She'll be praying all the time. All sort of stuff. Yeah.
And after that, then comes you.
Yeah.
When it comes to dealing with Mandhana.
Mandhana is like, I am like scared of her.
Now, the greatest catch that you've ever seen as a coach?
Jemmy Musk, no doubt.
Now, most heartwarming incident on the cricket field?
On the cricket field, like we won both the one days and the T20 matches in South Africa. I became a little emotional. I gone to the corner of the ground. I was kneeling down and saying thanks to God, and I was crying. So Rajeshwari came up and said, "Coach, this is good," and like I felt very good. Like she was there in good space.
As a coach, you got to be stern, I thought, but there are those moments as well which you share with the girls.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There is no facade at all. They know you in and out.
With the girls, you have to be their brother and father.
That's very nicely put, sir. Now, most memorable tour?
The tour to South Africa, obviously.
Okay. Now, one thing that you've learned from another coach and incorporated?
I learned a lot from Ramesh Pova.
Okay.
How to be thorough in preparation.
What irks you most as a coach?
Come again?
What irks you most as a coach? What do you feel disappointed by as a coach?
Somebody wastes their talent.
What is the first thing that you look in when a player comes to you? Is it the attitude, the skill?
Absolutely. Attitude directly connects to your altitude.
Okay. So the attitude determines the altitude. So what would be the title of your autobiography be?
That what I put on my Facebook, High Priest of the Strugglers.
Okay. So one person that you have the guts to prank?
My wife.
Okay. On that note, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. And I really hope you enjoyed this as much as we did.
Brought back a lot of memories. Thank you so much. Take care. Stay blessed. Stay safe.
You too, sir. Any message to the fans and
stay safe, obey the rules, India is what India is tomorrow is in our hands. Lockdown will end today or tomorrow. When you go out, be responsible. Whatever the government has told you as far as wearing masks, washing your hands, follow them to the dot, and let's all have a better India tomorrow. And hope the women team wins the World Cup next time.
Yes, we have our fingers crossed. Thank you very much, Mr. Biju George, for joining us. And I really hope you continue to make more champions.